I have some good news, bad news for you, Toronto FC fans.
Bad news
So the
first,
bad
always.
news, get it out of
Yeah.
the way, is you haven't won since the Italians left. The good
Ooh,
news, you haven't lost either.
look at that.
Toronto
Great
FC
delivery.
has drawn their last 8 matches. In fact, they
Is that
lead the
true?
league with
Wow.
14 draws. It's a crazy streak. What do you make of it? Do you look at something like that, Wheels, and actually say, okay, that's a sign of progress?
I think I do. 8 draws in a row. My God, it's like the Seinfeld of soccer teams because you lose $20, you find $20, you dump, your girlfriend breaks up with you, you get a new one. It's just everything is evening out, which I think is
Yes.
actually a good thing for Toronto FC. And I have seen positivity and progress made since Insigne and Bernadeschi left. I think that this team's starting to develop a collective identity. You're seeing them play for Robin Fraser, a team that's committed to playing as a unit, not just as individuals. And that's oftentimes not very easy for a club that's had, a transient nature in terms of what their managers have been like, players that are coming and going. Like it's very difficult to get buy-in when the team's really playing for nothing. But I think that there has been some buy-in. Some of the players that they brought in have been very good. I think Mihailovic is a savvy signing. By all accounts, they really like Vilsan up top. They think that they really got a steal, bringing over the player from CF Montreal. So I do think that there's some really good pieces that kind of set this project in a really positive direction. With that being said, there's still a long way from where they need to be. What is it? 33 goals scored in 32 games. I believe that only DC United have scored fewer in all of Major League Soccer. It is going to be a significant offseason of recruitment, especially adding attacking players. That's the thing. Oftentimes you draw these games because you're competitive, but you just don't have those difference makers in the team to go on and win it. And that's kind of where I feel that they're at right now. So a number 9, more reliable options on the wings, then you might be able to see some of the progress turns into actual production. And I don't think that we're quite there yet.
No, we'll get to that in just a second because, when it comes to the 8 draws, some of those games they've let in a late goal, right, Jordan? So that's been quite disappointing for them. So what Wheels points out, yeah, you still got to work on your goal scoring, still got to work on your defending. I don't know how I feel about this. So Wheels thinks it's progress. I'm kind of like, maybe, but where are
Kinda.
you?
Maybe sort of, kind of, yes.
Maybe
I
kinda,
mean, if
sorta,
you're taking
kinda.
the 50% line, like I'm probably just going and heading towards 60% of positivity because you didn't get a win.
Okay.
And to your point, Andy, you're letting in late goals. But I think this year for Toronto FC specifically was a crossroad. Like, it has been dire. It has been very contentious. And you look at a season where, Wheels, you said this from the beginning. I agreed with you. I think anyone with 3/4 of a brain was like, this is not a season they're going to go and win. But it's not so much about results. It's about cohesion. It's about having a fighting spirit. It's about restoring the goodness of this club. That's what it's about. And honestly, Toronto FC, whoever's in the front room staff, listen to this little bit because I'm pumped right now. Now you can actually get behind a team that is going to be fighting and working. And maybe it's, again, they're not going and winning games. But I'm not hearing about any drama going on off the pitch. Like, I'm not hearing about this player fighting with this player or a certain player fighting with fans. Like, that's not the situation right now. So I think in that aspect is a step in the right direction. The next bit is getting 3 points. Like, who are we kidding? This is footy. You can't go and tie 14 games and feel like, yes, this is progress. But at least now there's a fighting spirit and there's guys that believe in each other and are trying to work for the greater good of the club.
Fighting with fans. What you're saying now is TFC's boring. It was like so exciting.
You want fight? No. You want the fights with the fans.
Draws are boring, but they were so bad, Andy, that I think at a certain point you just take boring, don't you? And I think that's my context.
The club's okay with it because you're right. When you have so much drama, you're like, can we just take a breath? But here's the thing. How big is this offseason going to be for Jason Hernandez? This is where he's going to be able to show his chops here, Wheels. And we know a lot of the moves TFC has made. They've accumulated a lot of money, right? So they've got to be able to spend it right moving forward. Are you feeling good? How big is this offseason for him?
It's going to be a bloody big deal. sorry, just
Hopefully it's a different result than the bloody big deal.
Huge. Well, they could use another bloody big deal because they need players, a lot of players, to come in and improve this team. Like I'm talking like 6, 7, 8, like that far. But what the bloody big deal at that time did was galvanize, brought in some star power to this club. I understand that they've had their pitfalls bringing in star players over recent vintage, but I do think that the one thing that's crushing this team, at least off the field, is a lack of buzz. Ticket prices are going up. It's one-way traffic. This should surprise no one. Doesn't mean that it's right after year after underperforming, but there's no buzz around this group. The media hasn't really been covering this team. The fact that they're rather boring on the field, which I think is okay right now for the record, but they need that pulse back. They need that swagger back, and I think they need some top players to do it. I like the moves that Jason Hernandez has made since the start of the summer. I thought it was a big summer window for them just to bring some stability to the project where I think it's mission accomplished. But there's been too many misses over recent years. So it's basically correcting mistakes that have already been made. Now that you have some stability, you understand like players like Sean Johnson, Royal Petretta, Derek Etienne, Sigurd Rosted, a number of players who are on a decent lump of cash. Their contracts have run out. They're going to be free agents. Now it's time to replenish. So recruitment is going to be absolutely huge. Bringing the right players, people that can get people off their seats, but players that are committed to the project as well. Character counts. Absolutely counts here. But I think that there is a window of opportunity here in this window if they recruit appropriately, that they can take a really big step in the right direction. But yeah, all the pressure is on Jason Hernandez. He's done really well over the last few months. I was critical out of the gate. So there are signs that they're starting to get more solutions than burying more problems in their team. So yeah, he's the focal point. This is the offseason of Jason Hernandez, by which he will be fairly or unfairly judged. Like this is go time for him.